Welcome to Moonlight Madness, and today we're doing the sign of water. Now, the reason I'm doing water is because I've just been messaging a fan page of mine. I'm a huge fan of Drew Barrymore, as if you don't know that. You probably do because I've mentioned her a couple of times on here. Moonlight Madness, this is water signs. So if you are a Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer, you can tune into this. This is your reading. Now, what I first pulled out was the Princess of Cups, which is yourself. It's you. You are an Olympic medalist when it comes to reading romance novels. You are very gentle, very sensitive, kind, a bit naive. Sometimes people might call you a little bit naive. It's talking about a new relationship or an emotional experience, an invitation to a social event, and a compassionate friend you can share your concerns with. So you may be a sort of person that feels and senses a room. Rather, you're more comfortable with your emotions than most people are. You probably have a really nice little garden you like to sit out in and drink tea in the afternoons as well. And your way of meditating is probably reading. Now, I've got my little tiny Christmas tree because I don't have a big tree at the moment. I'm living in a small studio apartment and I draw a lot up here and I read and I do my readings. So that's where I live. This person crossing your path is a fiery one, very good looking, charming, self-confident, passionate, restless, immediate action, a challenge you can successfully manage, and a passionate relationship. So there's someone crossing your path who could have a lot of fire in their chart. They could be a Leo, Aries, or Sagittarian energy. They like to run in and save the day. They could be your knight in shining armor. They are into romance as well. They may be a bit fiery, a bit passionate. They don't like to be upstaged by other people because they like to be the star of the show. They're very industrious, and no one likes a bored prince more than a grumpy prince, and a grumpy prince is a bored prince. So you need to make sure you're always busy and on the go and doing things for yourself to keep yourself active. You might like to go on road trips. In the past, you've got the Four of Pentacles. This is a little bit of depression, a bit of sadness. You may have gone through a breakup, something that really upset your home life, and you just may have been really depressed for quite some time and really down and really black in mood. But it says your energy's now shifted. You've got the Three of Wands. This is three options coming in, three jobs coming in, three projects that you've got on the run. Maybe you work in the media, maybe you work in the art of illusions, because we've got here the Cup card, and usually the Moon card will come up if someone works in media or television or film, but you don't have the Moon in this particular reading. But I always seem to pick it up when I do water signs. So if it's one particular person, they could be an actor on stage, or a singer, or a musician. Now, you've got on the top of the card, it's saying this is the right time to get a reading. If you're looking to getting a personal reading, you should consult a well-known psychic medium. Now, the High Priestess is not just any psychic. They are highly gifted. They speak with their spirit guides. They get downloaded messages in their sleep state, in their wake state. They are on 24/7. I can honestly admit that that's what I've got the problem with. I can't switch it off. There is no thing that I can do to switch it off. I've tried breathing exercises. I've tried yoga. I've tried meditation. I've tried swimming. I've tried listening to music. And that all seems to work temporarily. But when I go outside and I start walking at around 11 o'clock, if I was to leave the house today, which I highly doubt, I've not been well, the problem with this energy is that it's so heavily dense at the moment. We've just come through the Halloween and the veils are very thin at the moment. Let me tell you, I had a vision for Matthew Perry 2 hours before I finished my shift. I work in a clothing store. And I had this vision of him standing in the corner of the shop, and I didn't acknowledge him because I knew who it was. But I thought, I can't actually acknowledge it because I know it's a vision. It was of Matthew Perry, who sadly passed away, and I didn't even know about it until that afternoon. So 2 hours after I finished my shift, my kids picked me up from work and they told me about it, and I'd had that vision. I never said anything to them. I acted all shocked, and I was shocked because I was right. But it comes to me like that. I'll get an image of someone, a future image, past images as well. And it usually happens when I'm nervous, I'm too hot or I'm too cold, or I haven't eaten enough that day, or I haven't drank enough water. I get these intense visions. Now, to enhance someone's ability, with an envision, I use this crystal for intuition. This is lapis. It's an Egyptian crystal. I also have a past life as an Egyptian high priestess. I've seen it in one of my visions. So if you want to get in tune with your inner knowing, I suggest the lapis in your pocket. Now, I also pulled this crystal here. This is a smoky quartz. Very good for Piscean energy, because they do shift and change. Pisces are swim upstream, or they swim downstream. They never ever stay in one place for long. They are the yin and the yang. The dreamer. You could have male and female energy strongly in your chart. In the future, you're looking at starting a new path. You're at the bottom, and there's your haversack with all your past knowledge and wisdom, and you're traveling up the hill to the tower, to a brand new castle. Maybe you're seeing someone that is royal, or you might like someone that's part of the royal family, just for someone out there. Then we've got here the Six of Wands. This is the Ticketek Parade. I call this the Andrew Johns Ticketek Parade, 1997. You probably heard me say this before. Newcastle Knights, when they came home with the cup and they sang It's a Beautiful Day by U2, because they were huge fans of U2. So am I. I remember being overseas playing U2 on a base in America when I was visiting my then boyfriend, who was American, on a Japanese Air Force base. I was snuck in. I shouldn't have gone. No one knew that, but I got over there. And it's saying that it's saying public recognition. You're in the limelight, you're in the spotlight. People are starting to recognize you on the street, wanting your autograph, or you're going to be on a stage where you have to do an acceptance speech. Some of you might be getting like some sort of graduation, or you might be graduating from doing a course, and now you've actually gone and got the job because of the course that you did. So it's like you've come through some really, really hard times in your life, and you've come out the other end. You've got here Eight of Swords. This is something to do with, you just need to believe in yourself a bit more. You have what it takes if only you believe in yourself. This is a mental prison. It's a mental prison of the mind. You think that there's no way out. You can't see left or right. It's like you're blindfolded. You can't see clearly in front of you or behind you, and you don't feel safe. You don't feel safe enough to jump from that tiny iceberg over to the bigger iceberg because you don't think you have the ability to, but you can, and you will. And that's 2/8. So this is karmic lessons that you're learning. I'm an 8. I was born on the 8th of February, 1974. So karmic lessons, karma. I was born on a Friday as well. Friday's child is loving and giving. Eight of Wands is excitement. It's travel. It could be you going on a plane trip overseas to go and meet and greet with people that are famous actors, television presenters, movie buffs, or singers. You may have come in contact with them recently. I've been chatting with an online Henry Cavill, and I've been chatting with Slim Shady, but I don't know if it's actually them or not. I think it's just their chat page, but I've been doing readings for one of them. I haven't done one for Henry yet. I haven't seen anything for him. When we've got, I have to concentrate on a photograph or a footage of a movie that Henry would be in, and that would be my way of getting an impression, or I'll start seeing stuff for him. I got one for Tom Hardy recently, and he was in period costume, and he was walking around like pure daylight. It was around 11 o'clock at the daytime. I was watching him, and I thought, what period costume is he in? So I looked him up. He wasn't a period costume. And it was back about five years ago now. But he did act in a movie like that, and he played this crooked cop, I think it was. But and then in your future, you've got the King of Cups. Honourable, devoted, mature, warm-hearted, a romantic partner you can trust, excellent advice that comes from the heart, and getting involved in a cultural or creative endeavour. This is saying you've got someone that is interested in you. You may have two people. One is a fire sign. The other one is a water sign. They are Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancerian. So you've got a couple of people interested in you at the moment. They are very protective of their friends and family, as are you, because you're a water sign, and they speak from the heart. Now, I've been watching and reading. I'm a big fan of libraries, and I love libraries. That's where I feel safest. It's where I can switch my mind off when I've got my head in a book. So if I start getting a vision, I take a book with me on the bus where I go to work so that I can put my head in the book and take myself away from what I'm actually seeing. I used to put sunglasses on because that way I could watch that vision go past me and I would just let it go. What I did learn from Mr. Silverman, the Silverman method, he talks about when you're facing south on your left, if the vision comes in on your left, it's a future vision. If it comes in on your right, it's a past vision. That's how I knew Matthew Perry had died. He came in my right. It was like an old memory of him that he must have travelled further in time to know when he was going to pass. He probably wanted to know when. And because I can see people on different levels in the 3D and the 5D. So when I get things like that, and it's a past vision, because he was what he is now, his age he is now, I know that he's past, that he's going to pass from the earth, and that was really hard for me to grasp. I think that's why I'm sick. I was really emotionally upset by it because I was a huge fan of Friends. I've watched it since I was in my early 20s, and I could totally relate to them all living in this tiny apartment with people they didn't know, and they were young and made stupid mistakes, and I just could relate to the Friends. I still love watching Friends, as did one of my best friends who used to love it as well, and got me through some hard times. When things go wrong in your life and you've got nothing to anchor you, to keep your foot on the ground because something tragic has happened to you, you go and watch reruns of Friends or Charmed or something that makes you feel comfortable or puts you back when times were easy. I think a lot of people in the COVID lockdowns were watching old Friends movies to cheer them up because they were so depressed and so sad and there was no control and everything was chaotic. And so when I saw COVID on my mother's lounge room floor, it just gobsmacked me. I couldn't believe what I had seen. I woke people up in the middle of the night and screaming because I could see all these people being shot at Wuhan, and it was awful. The medication I was on did not agree with me. I was mixing it with alcohol at the time because I didn't like the feeling of being so slow and useless, and having these visions that would come to me all through the day. I would see the person that lived across the road was a neighbour. He was dead. I used to see him walk past every day with his shoelaces untied. I knew I could see these things. I was scared to leave the house. So I did escape to watching Friends and reruns of Grey's Anatomy. So I could get in tune with my emotions and just cry it out, just what I did. Now I'm currently reading this book called